Success is determined not by whether or not you face obstacles, but by your reaction to them. And if you look at these obstacles as a containing fence, they become your excuse for failure. If you look at them as a hurdle, each one strengthens you for the next. Happiness doesn't result from what we get, but from what we give. Successful people don't have fewer problems. They have determined that nothing will stop them from going forward. If you hear how wonderful you are often enough, you begin to believe it, no matter how you try to resist it. Here is the treasure chest of the world, the public library, or a bookstore. It does not matter where we come from or what we look like. If we recognize our abilities, are willing to learn and to use what we know in helping others, we will always have a place in the world. If we make every attempt to increase our knowledge in order to use it for human good, it will make a difference in us and in our world. When we are confronted by failure and mistakes, we can leave them behind and go on with our lives. If we develop in-depth knowledge, it will enable us to give our best to others and help to make a better world. I am convinced that knowledge is power, to overcome the past, to change our own situations, to fight new obstacles, to make better decisions. People are simply not willing to look at their problems honestly and admit that they have problems. Because if you don't accept excuses, pretty soon people stop giving them, and they start looking for solutions. And that is a critical issue when it comes to success. No knowledge is ever wasted. While wisdom dictates the need for education, education does not necessarily make one wise. To do his best, one needs a confidence that says, I can do anything, and if I can't do it, I know how to get help. If you can read, honey, you can learn just about anything you want to know. When someone is being particularly mean and nasty, I simply think to myself, he or she used to be a cute little baby, I wonder what happened. There is no freedom without bravery. There is no such thing as an average human being. If you have a normal brain, you are superior. The brain can process 2 million bits of information per second. It remembers everything you've ever seen, everything you've ever heard. In any career, whether as a surgeon, musician, or a secretary, one needs to have a confidence that says, I can do anything, and if I can't do it, I know how to get help. The human brain has billions of neurons and hundreds of billions of interconnections. It can process more than 2 million bits of information per second and can remember everything you have ever seen or heard. What is the best thing that happens if we refuse to abide by the dictates of political correctness? I believe that we could return to a nation that truly cherishes freedom of speech and freedom of expression. Everyone in the world is worth being nice to. Because God never creates inferior human beings, each person deserves respect and dignity. God has given us more than 14 billion cells and connections in our brain. Why would God give us such a complex organ system unless He expects us to use it? If we acknowledge our need for God, He will help us. Being a doctor at Johns Hopkins does not make me any better in God's sight than the individual who has not had the opportunity to gain such an education but who still works hard. I have to come to realize that God does not want to punish us, but rather, to fulfill our lives. Do your best and let God do the rest. When I treat other people with kindness and love, it is part of my way of paying my debt to God and the world for the privilege of living on this planet. God cares about every area of our lives, and God wants us to ask for help. By reading so much, my vocabulary automatically improved along with my comprehension. Before God, no God, after Him, there will be no God. If you're good, you'll be recognized. Because people, even if they're prejudiced, are going to want the best. You just have to make being the best your goal in life. No matter who you are, no matter what you do, do not be too big for God. God created us, loves us, and wants to help us to realize our potential so that we can be useful to others. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and turn on notifications, so you don't regret missing life-changing advice and quotes.